Today, I want to introduce you to what I call the step before the strategy. That first step that you need to take is a really quick internal calculation within your practice that will set the stage, the launching pad, if you will, for all of your 2024 growth. Let's talk about that right now.
This is The Rare Advisor, proud to be a part of the Advisor Advancement Network and home of a business model supercharged by recurring and repeatable events. Your host is Mike Walters, CEO of USA Financial. He is an investment advisor representative of and securities are offered through USA Financial Securities, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
So it's always exciting when we start off a new year. We're full of aspirations. We have goals for the year. We know we want to grow our practice. We know we want to run a better business. We know we want to treat clients right. We know we want to gather new assets. We know we want to create and develop better portfolios. We know we want to increase sales, and the list goes right on down the line. But the step that comes before all of that, it is kind of the precursor to each and every one of those things I just mentioned, is a quick calculation. Really, it's, I guess you could argue, two calculations that are attached at the hip, and it is total customer value and total Maven value. Now, total customer value is pretty simple. It's probably what you're already thinking it is. It is the total value of revenue driven by a particular customer over a particular period of time. So if you're going to pick a single period of time and you're going to only want to calculate this one time, then I would say run it over a 5-year period of time. If you are going to pick multiples, I would look at a 1-year, a 3-year, and a 5-year period of time. But it's simply identifying what is the revenue generated by that particular individual. And I want to do this for all of my database. What's the revenue generated by those individuals over that period of time individually? Then what I want to do next, and this is the really important part, I want to take that total customer value and I want to use it to calculate total Maven value. Now, total Maven value is the total customer value plus I'm going to credit those total customer values, those individuals, I'm going to credit them with any introductions they gave me, referrals, introductions that led to new business, new clients. I'm going to credit them the value of the person they introduced me to. So if my customer is worth $5,000 to me over 5 years, and they've introduced me to 3 other individuals who each in turn were worth $5,000 in their formula, then I'm going to create a total Maven value for that starting point customer of $20,000. Now, then one of those Mavens can also, one of those introductions, I should say, that was in the Maven calc, they might become their own Maven, right? Because they have their own total customer value. But then they've introduced me to 2 or 3 people, and I can go right on down the line. So this is key. And the reason it's key is because you want to duplicate your best clients. You don't want to duplicate the bottom half or even the bottom 2/3 of your client base. You want to duplicate the top 5, 10, 20%, maybe a third at most of your client base. Those are the people you're trying to adhere to. So by identifying, first of all, who they are and who they hang out with, that's step number 1. By looking at the Maven value, you'll very quickly determine whether or not you're any good at getting introductions, which, by the way, are light years beyond getting referrals. We have a whole system and a program for that. If you need help with that, reach out to USA Financial. We will be happy to help you in the category of duplicating your top clientele. But it all starts with total customer value, calculating that out, and then identifying total Maven value. Oh, and by the way, last tidbit, the reason I calculate this for longer than a 1-year period of time is because I want to account for assets under management and recurring revenue. Because we know inside of our practice, even though on the P&L statement, non-recurring revenue can be very valuable, on the value of our practice, the recurring revenue is what drives the bulk of the value in the practice. So over a 5-year period of time, I can get an idea of what that recurring revenue looks like. So you can go any periods of time you want. Maybe you want to do 10. Maybe you want to do lifetime. There's all kinds of ways to do it. But I would say if you're going to pick a single period of time, go to 5 years so that you're getting recurring revenue in balance with your non-recurring revenue. Hey, have a great 2024.
This information is for licensed financial professionals only and is not intended for use in soliciting sales from the public. The views expressed represent the opinions of the presenter or their featured guest, not necessarily those of USA Financial or its affiliated subsidiaries. Industry references are generic and not intended to represent actions or beliefs of any individual or entity. Content is only presented to illustrate general principles, beliefs, or ideas and should not be construed as legal or regulatory advice. Trademark and copyright protected. USA Financial and Affiliates.